Chad. This is the second video to the Aiptasia killer video. It took a while because I, for one thing, needed to get some peppermint shrimp to actually show you, and two, I needed to give the peppermint shrimp a little time to show you what they can do. And that's why we're looking at this rock here in front of us. As you can see, lots of Aiptasia there. Not so much, well, none here where the peppermint shrimp have eaten it away. And they will eventually do that to all the Aiptasia in the tank. Now, it requires a certain number of peppermint shrimp for a given size tank and a given infestation. I have about 16 of them in this tank, and they're going to do their job just fine. Let me find a couple of them. Well, I'm having focus problems. There we go, up there. That was a little hard to see. Trying to find some crawling around. They hide really well. They're often called rock shrimp, and the reason they're called that is because they hide in the rocks really, really well. Let me see if this guy there. So that's a good view of him right there. Also, you could take a look at the. I always say I don't scrape my tank or clean anything for these videos, so what you see is what you get. And that side where the pump is, I seldom clean it because you got to move the pump, and I'm lazy. That's the fact. Anyway, so there he is, and they're a good shrimp in that they don't require very much care at all. I consider them a beginning animal. They can be kept in a 5-gallon tank. You have to be careful, of course, with any ornamental shrimp that you don't put them with fish that will eat them, and I do not recommend that you put them in anything other than a very large tank. 75-gallon, not a large tank. I'm talking 125 to 210-gallon tank with other shrimp. So the skunk cleaner shrimp and the scarlet cleaner shrimp will attack and eat these guys. And so you do not want to put them together unless it's a really, really large tank and they can separate themselves and stay away from one another. It's a very basic shrimp. You don't have to do. I'm trying to get a good. There we go. I'm trying to. I took a video a minute ago. This is kind of just a little side note, and I put the camera right up to the glass so that you could see really well. But all it picked up in terms of sound was the pump, so you couldn't hear me at all. And not that I'm super interesting, but you do kind of want to hear what I have to say. Otherwise, you can just go look up a picture of a shrimp. Anyway, care of this shrimp is so very simple. You acclimate it, you put it in, and it does its thing. It is a scavenger. It will eat algae. It will eat bits of food that are left over, and desirably, it will eat Aiptasia. It does not, interestingly enough, eat corals. And I say interestingly enough because it eats Aiptasia. So you would think that it would have a taste for all kinds of soft corals, but it doesn't. It's completely reef safe with any of them except for Aiptasia. And you can see he's grabbing some kind of food right now off of the glass. Nothing that I can see. Little bits of algae or microorganisms. They will catch and eat little critters. So there you have it. It's quite a simple way to take care of Aiptasia. And as far as price is concerned, price is concerned, I paid $5. That's about all I want to pay. You'll find them from $5 to $15. Lately, they've been in the $15 range, and that all depends on harvesting and that kind of stuff. So I just waited until I could get them for a price that I wanted. If you're desperate, or depending on your area, maybe they never get lower in your area, then go ahead. It's a pretty hardy shrimp. I don't really buy online, but I would trust this as an online purchase because it's that hardy. In terms of hardiness of your ornamental shrimp, this is the hardiest that you're going to get. Your scarlet cleaners are the least hardy, and then your skunks, and then these. These can handle a wide variety of water ranges and temperatures, and so they tend to do pretty well. There are several species of them. There's one or two that don't eat the Aiptasia, but most of them do. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna point my camera over here for a minute because there's a crab that I have no idea how got into this tank, and he's flipping huge. When I say I don't know how he got in, I literally don't know how he got in. I have not purchased anything with a rock large enough to support this gigantic crab, and all of the other rock in the tank was dry, so no crab could have been on it. Well, he's not sticking his claw out now, but the guy's sitting right there. If I could catch him, I would. He's just a Mithrax crab, so he's nothing that worries me. He's just eating algae, which is what I was watching his little big old claw doing. In fact, to give you an idea of how big he is, there's his last molt. Right? Now do I know he's a Mithrax? Well, you can tell by looking at him. Mithrax, that would be a relative of the emerald crab. Sometimes they do okay in a tank, sometimes they don't. This guy seems to be doing pretty well, although he did munch on the green star polyps, which is why I moved them down there to get him away. He doesn't seem to want to follow. Little sexy shrimp right there. Anyway, I'm getting distracted, aren't I? It's easy to do when you're looking at a tank to get distracted at all the lovelies. Back to peppermint shrimp. If we can fit it there, though. So, that's it. They will eat your Aiptasia. Give them time. Buy enough of them. Buy plenty of them. And I think you'll find that the results are good. As I pointed out, you know, that rock right there, that whole area was covered with Aiptasia. It is now clear of Aiptasia, and they'll eventually get to the rest of it, and I'm excited about that. There's a couple up there, one over there. They're all over in the rocks hiding, which is what they do. So don't necessarily expect to see them running around. I'm seeing these because these are some of the new ones that I just acclimated and put into the tank. But once they settle down, they're going to find a crevice and a crack, and they're going to hide there throughout the day, and they'll come out at night and do their thing. It's awfully fun to get your flashlight out and watch. As soon as the light hits them, they'll run, but it's still a pretty fun thing. Now that's the peppermint shrimp. That's phase 2 of our Aiptasia killing. Phase 3 is going to be the lemon juice method. 4 is going to show you Aiptasia X, and then last but not least will be the laser, which I have a lot of things to say about. So hopefully you'll stick around for that particular video too. So that's it. Aiptasia, it's a pest, it's a pain. But it's not necessarily as devastating and horrible for some corals. As you can see, and I pointed out before, it grows right up next to the zinnia and doesn't give it any problem. And there's several other corals in this tank that it grows right up next to and doesn't give them any problem, such as this guy right here and these guys. So anyway, there you have it. Peppermint shrimp. Really great shrimp. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.